Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, everybody. I'm your host, Kevin, the host with the most, Kevin of Bullishbrs. Made this cool looking little GIF this morning. And yeah, I was up early today. I was working on some videos, just some shorts and stuff, going over bookmap and whatnot. So I have dark mode on. I turned dark mode on instead of light mode. Yeah, it seemed a bit lighter on the eyes. I noticed every time I try to post something for TradingView, the views aren't as strong as when I post something for Bookmap, and I thought maybe it had to do with something of the coloring, right? Because sometimes when things are too bright on the eyes, our instant reaction as human reaction is to swipe away. We want it off our screen. So the darker will be a bit better. Good morning, YouTube. What's going on, everybody? Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Let's check the NASDAQ and ES real quick. Let's try to find some key levels before we get into the day. Looks like we have a 90-minute supply zone up here. This is the ES chart. We have a 90-minute supply that did break at some point. So I am a little concerned over that. Not the best probability in that because it was broken. Here we go. This is better. This supply zone right here. This 2-hour supply. So that's going to be my target to the upside on ES for this morning if buyers do want to continue. We'll look for 58.09. Now I do want to see if sellers want to step in at this point, because if we end up creating a lower high, we could make a move lower, right? We can maybe look for a short position, see if sellers want to step in somewhere around here, target that recently broken demand supply zone. So this is a 2-hour supply. Move this like right here. 3-hour. There's a 3-hour. So you guys see how it's a 2-hour zone and a 3-hour zone? You can mark it whichever way you want. It's as long as you have the zone marked, right? So it's a 2-hour, it's a 3-hour, it's the same exact zone. If it's the same exact, it does not really matter. Daily. Now if we look at the daily, sort of in a choppy range, but look at the weekly imbalance we had. These wicks, every time we tried to push lower into this weekly imbalance, what happened? Buyers stepped in, and we ended up getting a nice big squeeze out of that weekly imbalance. And same with the NASDAQ, right? NASDAQ also had a weekly imbalance, right? Oh, right here. I don't know why it's not marked. Maybe I deleted it by accident. But we had a weekly imbalance right there on the NASDAQ. And the same thing happened. We created a demand zone over that weekly imbalance. And every time we tried to push lower, we chopped or the buyers tried to step in, right? As we saw the past few days, the market's been very choppy, pretty crappy, right? And we knew that was coming because of this weekly imbalance, because of this big zone we were in and failing to push through. We had one strong push right here. Failed, and from this point we ended up making higher lows. This is the NASDAQ, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and then a nice big pop this morning was with that 8:30 news. What did we have today calendar wise? I think we had job reports, didn't we? Non-farm payroll, huge. Non-farm payroll is huge. Yeah, so, gotcha. So I'm looking for a supply zone up here now on the NASDAQ, right? And the reason for that is because I'm looking to see if anything wants to line up or co-line up with the ES, right? So this is where we had a 2-hour supply zone, that 2 and 3-hour supply zone on ES. We don't have a 2 and 3-hour zone on the NQ, right? We had chop and consolidation at that point and a drop, yes, but we didn't have the same time frame zone. So we're going to mark it out. This is the 90-minute supply zone. US90. Now, when we come into this zone, I'm not going to be jumping into longs, right? If we're bullish into this zone, I know that we're in a supply zone. A lot of people might be trying to go long off the fact that they think, oh, we're going to continue, we've been bullish. But if we're coming into some resistance, it's okay to, wait it out, see how the market wants to react. Market opens in about 5 minutes. So now we sort of have some zones on the ES and the NQ. Something I do want to point out is that NQ looks like it might want to try to break this 20,331, while ES might not break this supply zone, right? So I'm looking for some divergence in the sense that I want to see the NASDAQ break this pivot high while ES fails that pivot high and fails supply. If that's the case, I will be looking for a short position. But for right now, let's come back to the 15 and the 30, see if we have any recent zones, any recent areas of interest. Let's check out the NASDAQ. This is the 15-minute time frame right now, so we're going to delete this broken zone. This 45-minute supply, we're going to keep this one here because it tried to work yesterday as an area of interest. It worked overnight as an area of interest, and now look at it. It's trying to work again as a 45-minute demand zone. So we have the basing. Now it looks like it wants to have an impulse move, and we would see this 45-minute to continue, right? So we would be looking bullish on this on the NASDAQ. Where are we? This 45 was created with a small drop and other mediocre drops, right? So just an area of interest. I might be looking for a long and here somewhere. And that's sort of where we're at, right? We're above that previous day high. We're going to mark out previous day high. Previous day high. Delete this. This is our previous day low. This is an old previous day low. Old stuff, old stuff. We do have a daily divergence if we're looking at ES and NQ. ES was making new all-time highs. NQ was not able to make those highs. But just because we have a daily divergence doesn't mean we have to permanently keep our bias bearish. Hey, what's going on, Wes? What's going on, man? Good morning, good morning. So how I trade my zones is I look for areas of interest to form when we break them, right? So this was a 45-minute supply. Do we have anything that formed before that? Well, it looks like we have this fair value gap right here. What did I just do? So we have this is the 5-minute right now. So I'm going to mark this 5-minute fair value gap. We're going to make the fair value gaps so they don't extend. So we understand which ones are fair value gaps, which ones aren't. So it's a fair value gap. If we throw our optimal trade entry up there, it does line up with, it's in that 61 to 78%. So if I'm looking for a long position on NASDAQ, I might look for something long in this fair value gap. Stop loss sort of towards the bottom near that 78. And target a new high a day, or even target that supply zone up there. So we're going to wait and see. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I just did ES. I got to get to NASDAQ because the market's going to open in a minute. I'm sorry. That's alright. No worries, no worries. Alright, so real quick. So that's sort of what we're looking for. ES, 5-minute fair value gap, optimal trade entry. NASDAQ, we want to look for sort of maybe something similar. 15-minute, we don't have a fair value gap. We have zones underneath. But these were tested already. So I would sort of want to see if NASDAQ could hold that previous day high or this broken supply zone. Yeah, I guess not much really. We have the impulse move. I'd really like to see this area get tested. I think that's market opens in 45 seconds. The reason I want to see this area get tested, at least tested, but I did want it to run through so that we hit this broken supply zone, is so that this imbalance is taken over, right? So this big move was created with that news at 8:30, and a lot of times when we have a big impulsive move, it leaves a massive imbalance, right? It gives us data highs and data lows and such. So we did take out, this was sort of the data high, we did sort of take that out. So I do want to see if we can come back lower, or if, again, we did want to continue trend. So that's sort of why I'm not looking for any shorts right now. As for the halfback move, we can maybe see that too. When I'm using the fibs, I don't really look for halfbacks. I'm looking more for that 61, 78%. So let's see, market is open now. We have ES and NQ on our charts. And we're just going to wait and see if we want to get a push lower, see if we get a reaction off of these zones or not. I gotta change my iceberg indicator. I don't know why they changed the settings on mine. Yeah, I had to email them and they were like, "Yeah, we could we'll give you access to it for a month." It's like, "Oh, gee, thanks." Didn't know I was on a yeah. I thought it was with Rhythmic too, because I had it for the longest time. That's great selling pressure. We are going to go lower, I feel, on ES. I almost want to short that because of the selling pressure, is what we saw yesterday in the morning. I want to see, look at this iceberg right there. Sellers are here in ES, so I want to see these sellers take us lower. I'm in a light short position on ES right now because I do want to see this momentum. So let's see if we get that. Nice little move there. Expecting stronger selling pressure though to continue. There we go. But it's starting to wick. I might call it there, take profit there on a scalp. But it does look like it wants to continue dropping, and I wanted these areas to be hit. So I'm gonna hold this short. That 1 minute looks good to the downside. Really crazy light in this, so we're probably gonna get another leg lower, don't worry. I'm gonna get out of this short because no icebergs were coming up. So small little gain. Took some MES because it was market open. I don't even know if I want to count that as a gain. When I get a break even, it's not even breaking. It's like 20 bucks. It's nothing. Nada enchilada. All right, there are the icebergs again on ES. And the reason I want to take these icebergs short is because I just made a video on icebergs on Bookmap. I'm looking at these icebergs. Strong sell orders coming in there. I do want to see this continue. 5790s should be holding as resistance. Would like a strong push lower. 5782 would be a nice target in my opinion on this ES. 5782. But look at these buyers do keep trying to bring us higher. I want to see these icebergs stack up as well. This is literally what I made the video off of. Was it coming into icebergs and getting strong selling? But if we break these, yeah, I don't know, man. If we break those, we're going to wait and see if they all get filled and then want to bring us lower. Because again, this is aggressive selling. These are hidden iceberg sell orders. Those are very strong. Nvidia's trying to push lower. We are trying to find some buying pressure here, though, which is a big red flag on any shorts. Definitely not looking the best on the shorts, but it could just be wicking. We're looking, this is the 1 minute right here. I haven't really been looking at this chart over here. I do want to be careful on the shorts, but we'll see. We're still creating those icebergs, which again is telling me sellers do want to try to bring us back lower. How's the 5 minute look? But that was a big wick on the 5, guys. Nice. Yeah, we're going to take out my short for a little stop right there. If we could get back below 5790, I'd consider another short on ES. Shorting with the iceberg again. I'm just not the biggest fan. I need VIX up on here. So I'm shorting with this iceberg and these sellers too, guys. These guys want the market to come back lower. So I want to be selling with them. But if we reverse, then they're wrong and we're all wrong. And we get a little stop fill. Little stop fill right there. Alright, that's okay. So we're going to wait. We're going to wait for our zones. That's why we wait for our zones. Crude oil, what's crude doing? Yes, with that buying pressure, ran through these. Look at those strong sellers, though. Real strong sellers keep on trying to step in. Good morning, good morning. Look at this 5-minute on ES doesn't have a lower wick. Could potentially now wait for like a 1-minute reversal entry. Whoa. We have news now? No, I don't think so. I know I'm saying, when do they speak? When? Not how. VIX is pushing higher. I knew I was right on those shorts, man. That's tough, dude. That's tough. I knew I was right on those shorts. Are they speaking now? Why the fudge are they speaking now? They start at 9. Oh, Fed Williams. Oh. No, I find those nonsense ones. I'm not gonna lie. Womp womp ones. Yeah. Damn, dude. Knew it was on the shorts. Alright. Yes, I'm breaking this low. NQ not breaking that low. Oh, no. Marziti, not yet. I'm going to make it so you could do at futures. Sure. VIX is pushing higher, which is bearish. There we go. Want to catch Marziti live? He's at boogers. It's funny. Staying patient here, guys. The way it was just so wicky and choppy. We're coming off of this zone that I wanted to look for longs, right? So we're going to wait. 15-minute. We could wait. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. What's today's? Friday, right? Damn.
Daddy, he's got this big old nugget sitting on the tip of his finger. He looks over at me and says, Daddy, what do I do with this?
Oh, jeez. That's funny.
He comes up in a moment of brilliance and says, oh, I know, put it on the bottom of my shoe and it'll be gone by the time we get home. I'm like, ah.
Oh, that's a smart boy right there. Alright. Any other news? No other news today, so...
Well, the dog strikers...
oh, yeah, that's over.
They agreed to give them a 65, according to Signal.
65%. Yeah, I saw that. They asked for 70, they got 60. Or 65 or something. I want a 65. I want the market to give me 65% more.
Oh, my God.
I'm liking the accumulation here for potential breakout higher.
Ironclad, I have definitely been studying your B4 study. It's very fascinating, I have to admit. Especially if you use the higher time frame with it there. Like I put the 5 minute beside the 1 minute, and when you get confirmation on it, it does seem to just run. I've watched a 100-point move in the NQ. I watched a 40-point move this morning in it, and of course there's some stop outs, but and you still got to use, look at your price action, see does this make sense. But as far as an indicator, it's not bad at all.
What are we thinking, a breakout here? I like the buyers. But want to be a little
The guy
careful.
who developed it says that the best time frame based on his back testing is 3 minutes.
Huh, okay.
Yep.
Maybe put the 3 beside the 15.
I like it on the 5 too.
Some good buying pressure. I want to see these longs take over here, guys, but they keep getting weak up here, weak with the wicks. Want to see a good pop. Give me a good pop.
Give me a pop.
Give me a pop. Give me a pop of that ES chop. I'm going to get out of this long up here. This is just garb. Ah, I knew it. Wait. I'm going to wait. 25 seconds on this 1 minute. Stop below that previous 1 minute candle. Want to see buyers step back in, but those icebergs are pretty strong to the downside. They not like us. They not like us.
Market indices,
Bop, 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 bop.
leaderboard is downtrending, but the overall market is a spinning top.
NQ's trying to push higher. VIX is trying to push lower off a key level. That's what I want to see. I really want to see buyers take it, guys. I really want to see a good push higher.
Right now, I'm seeing us, just in chop. I mean, just look at the candles.
Yeah.
On both ends.
Yeah. They keep trapping buyers at highs, sellers at lows. NQ weak. ES trying to be stronger. Okay, so market pulse trying to push green on both right now.
Well, I mean, what we're seeing here is a struggle between, do we go north or do we do the pullback south?
Yeah, look at those buyers accumulating up here near these sell orders. This iceberg on bookmap right here, guys. Really need to see a break, and it's keep failing right there. Whoa, big volatility spikes. Big volatility spikes. I'm going to call that break even right there. That's some choppy chop. Don't like it. Iceberg selling. Getting heavier to the sell side. Want to see that 15-minute close. 20 seconds for the 15 to close. What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning. I like that candles action, price action for a reversal here if we get a push lower and then a push higher. But, we'll have to see. It's just so wicky.
If you look at it on the 5-minute, the last 4 candles are going into a pennant.
Yeah.
Coming into a wedge.
Yep.
So the
Yep.
breakout's about to happen.
Yeah.
Leaderboard still is bearish. The overall market sentiment is
Bullish.
losing momentum to the downside.
Ah.
It's wicking on both sides.
Yeah.
Now, when I say overall market, I'm talking about the indices plus the bonds plus the VIX, combining all that together to give me an overall picture of everything.
Right. Marziti, I can barely hear you, says K-Man. A lot of absorption, a lot of volume hitting right now, guys. A lot of volume hitting right now. NQ looks like it wants to continue lower. No good setups the past few days, guys. We had Monday and Tuesday were great setups. Wednesday was sort of just a chop fest with one good setup on Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, just sort of crap. And when that happens, we have to be disciplined and either walk away or size down. But you can't keep trading the same way if we're not getting the same price action. There's that push lower on NQ. I said NQ looks good to push lower. I want ES to push below this previous wick, and then if it starts to push back higher again, I would consider a long. But right now, we're probably better off waiting for that 30 to close. Two and a half left. We're waiting. We're patient. You guys take any trades today? I know I'm like one for two on a little scalp short, and then they failed long, which just chop, guys. Just chop. I want to see how the 30 closes. So we get an idea if it wants to be like this. If the 30 closes like this with a long lower wick and almost a reversal candle, I will look for longs on ES. You see how this little gap right here, that's an imbalance, a small little 1 minute imbalance. It wicked it, right? So it looks for imbalances in the market. The algorithm, right, looks for imbalances. So I just feel silly talking about the algorithm when it comes to the market, but it's true. There is an algorithm. It knows how to look stronger or weaker. It knows how to look like it's going to go one way, then reverse in the last minute, as we all know. Gold, I'm looking at gold right now. Gold in a 61% and a fair value gap.
Hey Kevin, can you hear me?
Hey, good morning. Yes, sir.
This is Moonshift checking in.
What's going on, Mr. Moonshift? How's it going?
I'm long up to 20263 high of day on NQ.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Where's your entry? What's your entry? Because the 5-minute time frame at the moment is telling me still that bears have the momentum. So what was your entry?
I've got to stop below the previous low at 947.
947. Oh, at the time 947. Got you. Okay. All right. Interesting. What was your long entry? Was it what was your confirmation?
It's just a hunch. I'm on small size, and it's I think it's 38% of the entire move.
All right. No trading off hunches. Not allowed. I'm restricting that. That's not a confirmation.
No, the overall economic data is bullish.
Okay. Alright, that's fine then.
Man, you got pissed all over the guy's strategy?
No, man, I'm here to help everybody get better. And hoping ain't a strategy. Hunches ain't a strategy. We need reason and confirmation. That way we have probability on our side.
I'm like throwing my jujus here on my short.
I'm throwing my jujus. That's funny. That's really funny. I'm looking at gold.
Okay. Sorry. You're looking at gold. Yeah.
Tarot cards, Nicole. That's hilarious.
Tarot cards. I got some of those. Wait a minute. I pulled the death card. What does that mean? Oh, sorry.
I'd want to see gold short. Gold looks pretty good for shorts.
I know, Nicole. It means sudden change. I'm just teasing, but
Oh, Marziti, you're too funny. What are we gonna do with you?
well, I have gotten better. I'm not in the straitjacket that often anymore. You know, the meds are working.
The Mets.
So they tell me.
Let's see if we get any type of cell recognition up here. Look at that. Gold with the pop right here on Bookmap. Big pop right there. Trapping a lot of people trying to take that breakout. 15, 30 minute. 30 minute looks okay for potential longs. We'll see if we want to hold. We're now creating support under us. So we'll see 26.69.90 if that wants to hold as support.
Yeah. Steep thing.
Let's see. We have VIX looks like it wants to push lower, which is bullish on the market. We do have divergence right there. NQ just made a new low. ES is holding that low. Look how heavy this level is here on ES. 57.84. 57.84. Right at these lows. Very, very strong level. Crude and gold looking okay. Dollar's trying to push lower. That's cool. Look, this fair value gap on crude would have gave a nice little impulse move. Looking at ES coming to these lows again. Trying to chip away at this level on Bookmap. Yo, good morning, Trade Wolf. What's going on, my man? Good morning, everybody. Crude with some strength. Gold with some strength. Look at that. Again, look at the sellers down here, right? So these sellers are now trapped in the market, and that's what's going to help fuel a move higher if this 5 minute wants to push higher. Now I want to see gold real quick on the daily time frame. Inside candles. Inside candles everywhere except crude does look good for the bull side as well. And crude is now coming off of a fair value gap right here. Okay, so maybe crude is going to be our trade, guys. We missed optimal trade entry on crude. Would have been right there at that 71% in this fair value gap. We'll see if we come back to it. We'll add an alert one more time. What's ticking like that? Oh. So on Bookmap, if ES gets to 57.84, we'll go lower on that level. So let's see, we're coming down to it now. We see this very heavy level. So you see the blue area isn't heavy. This area is a lot of people with limit orders or passive orders getting ready to buy the market. But we have to remember for every buyer, there's a seller. So the question is, there's a lot of sweeps. Do we want to hit and sweep this order and reverse on everybody trying to take the breakout? Or are we going to break it and hold it and maybe potentially see this zone right here, which we were looking for? There's a pretty good break there. I'm looking for this zone right here. And we will see. Pretty good break. Now we have some buying pressure trying to step in, but that was a good 5 minute candle to the downside, so I wouldn't look to take any longs. The 15, oh, you know what? 30 minute close in 5 minutes. It could wick back up for sure. It could wick back. Yes.
ES
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all to the upside because that 5 minute was so strong.
Okay.
Sell
You
pressure. Yeah.
just touched the ADR, the half ADR. It actually has gone over it. It's come back down to it. Getting ready to come back down to VWAP.
Yeah, so, yep. Trade Wolf asked sell pressure. So, yeah, when I say selling pressure, I could mean one of two things. Selling pressure on Bookmap, which I would see with the bubble volume, right? And just see us breaking lows. Or you could see it just on the chart, right? So if we're looking at a 5 minute chart and we see a strong move to the downside and it looks like it wants to continue, then that's some selling pressure, right? So I would be patient here because of how strong this 5 minute was. This 5 minute doesn't have much of a longer lower wick, which says buyers failed to step in. So I would really be patient because this 5 could just as well continue. Buyers are getting very weak right here. Look at the very small buy bubbles on Bookmap, but we're squeezing at this level, 57.80. I like that on, look at gold, guys. Look at gold. Now, gold I would look to see if we want to step in with some buying pressure. I look away from ES for a second, and it gives us that break. So there's that break again. There's some volume stepping in. I'm probably going to take this long if we hold this zone. If we hold this zone is a big if. We'll try one right there. Stop loss at the bottom of the zone. And if it runs right to our stop, which it just did, then that's alright too. We're going to wait and give it one more second. Because this is good volume coming in right now. And that's what I like to see in my zones. But we're going to let the 1 minute close. Because if the 1 minute wants to dump again, good chance we're not going to reverse. 5 minute, though, does look good for a reversal over here. Pretty big buyer stepping in. I'm going to try one more long down here and let the 1 and 5 close. Because now we are near my area of interest that I wanted to go long. But I do have to remember this bias right now, bearish bias at the moment. Bears have a lot of strength. 15 and 30 looked very bearish right now. 15 looks bearish, 30 looks bearish. So we're in longs, but we're in tight stops on them. I think maybe we break the zone and reverse, or we break the zone and we just don't reverse. But right now, we don't know. We don't see an exact. We're going to wait. This is a big buyer right here. 416 lots on an iceberg is pretty big. No, doesn't matter. Alright, so we got a wick below it. Now I'm going to place my stop at the low, because now we did a little stop hunt, and let's see if we want to continue back up. 30 seconds left. I have very little confidence in this. Extremely little confidence in this. But a minute 20 left in the 5, 15, and 30 minute. It could pop way back up in reverse, right? Maybe this 5 minute closes up here. If the 5 could close above 57.78, we're golden. If not, we're not golden. There we go. A little something something. Here's a new 1 minute. Good buying pressure still. Love it. Want to see it hold. Want to see it hold and continue. If it starts to fail, that's not good because we only got a minute left in this 30-minute candle. And it has quite the ways to go to close where I want it to. I'd want it to close 57.82. Not getting that. We're not getting that, guys. I don't think we're getting that. What's VIX doing? NASDAQ, NVIDIA's wicking. Weighted index is very weak. I'm not liking these anymore. Yeah, no more. No mas. Telling you guys, once those bears take over, once you could see the time frame analysis, whatever your trade plan was, whatever you were assuming or waiting for, just let it play out. Let it play out. Time frame analysis over everything, supply and demand over everything. No upper wick on this 5 yet. Or 15, I should say. So it's like, it looks good to continue or at least come up a bit. But Everything's just garbage right now. So it's just been choppy, right? It's been choppy except for this one move, this 10-minute move right here. And now it looks like it wants to drop, right? So let's be patient. We're looking at the VIX, which is pushing higher. Do we have any fair value gap entries? We just wicked this fair value gap right here. I'd bet more for the Bears than I would the Bulls right now.
All right, on NQ, we've come back into that chop zone I talked about
But,
this morning.
yeah.
So it's a target, but it's not a trade zone, in my opinion.
Yep.
You've got a setup. You don't want to trade. You don't want to initiate a trade in a chop zone because you don't know which way it's going to go.
Right. That's right. That's right. So look, we got our range now at the bottom near the 78%. And we're keep trying to find support here. This is where I wanted to see if we could find support. NASDAQ's at that broken supply zone too. That's where I wanted NASDAQ to find support. What's the 15-minute doing? Is the 15 giving me any sign of a reversal? Not yet. 30-minute? No way. Definitely not on the 30-minute. 45 could push bullish. So it's like, we just have to be aware. Hourly was very bearish. 2-hour big long upper wick. 4-hour also a big long upper wick. So we're gonna wait. What is that? Where is that? Gold. Gold selling pressure. Look at the chop zone on gold. Trapped sellers popped. Now it's failing again. Looking at crude as well. Crude. Okay, let's see crude. Crude, we had this fair value gap right here that we did miss the entry on. Gave us 3 taps, 3 touches right there, which is exactly what we want to see. 4 touches on the 5-minute. We would have wanted crude to go to make a new high a day because of how bullish crude has been. If anything, we'll look for maybe a retest down here on crude for a long. There's ES with buying pressure. Look at that again, finding buying pressure near the zone we were looking for. The problem was our entry, so now we could wait. Be a bit more patient. Let's see. Good morning. Hey, Amity, what's going on? Do you trade MCL or CL when trading crude? I usually trade CL because it moves very tight. It's a very tight range already, so I'll trade CL. Yeah, no A+ setups today. Just gotta take advantage, guys. Take advantage of the good days. We see today's a bad day. Yesterday was a bad day. Just gotta take advantage of the good days. Make sure those good days surpass those bad days. How can you do that? Well, you could add things. We could add daily stop limits. You could do... There's tons of things you can do to help with that. I'm looking at... I really want to see if there's an entry on crude at some point. That was a pretty good buying pressure. Tons and tons goes into trading, guys. If somebody's texting me, buddy of mine, he's like, how do you do it? You know, how do you stay so disciplined? I want to be at that point. I know I could be at that point. And he can be. And more likely than not, all of you can be. But the level of discipline that's required is almost 100%. Now, you could change and quirk some things so that you don't need 100%, right? If you quirk your risk management so that it's so precise, so that it's good, so that your winning days are 3x your losing days, then okay, so then maybe you don't have to be 100% on your mindset. Maybe you could be a little undisciplined sometimes because you're giving yourself that leeway. It would help if you weren't, but that's how you're protecting yourself. That's crazy, these buyers stepping in now. Oh, I was waiting for that 5 to close. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll look for divergence, see if there's any divergence. CL looks good. Buyers stepping in icebergs here on ES. Getting heavier and heavier. I like that long on ES there with those icebergs, but I'd much rather wait for a pullback and get some type of entry like that. You know what I'm saying?
You got a message in chat.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Would you say Bookmap has helped your trading immensely? I'm considering adding Jigsaw. I haven't used Jigsaw. It is similar to Bookmap though, right? It's cool. It's all of these order flow tools are very cool and very helpful. The reason they are cool and helpful is because of it's good to see volume, right? It's always important to see volume when it comes to the market. And using something like level 2 in time and sales is great, but it's hard to clearly see volume with the level 2 in time and sales like that. So when you use something like Bookmap, Jigsaw, Heat Map, whatever it is, it's really to your advantage because now you're visually seeing Bookmap level 2 and Heat Map and stuff like that. So I would 100% recommend it. You know, I trade with it all the time. I love it.
The main thing that Bookmap and Jigsaw do is they visualize the DOM.
Yup,
Visualize
exactly.
the
The depth
DOM
of market.
so that you can actually see on the chart, and in the case of Bookmap, you can see the historical DOM as far as where the levels were. So, yeah, especially if you're a visual person, you
Right.
like Bookmap and Jigsaw. Now, Jigsaw's more techy. Bookmap is more simple, but the difference being is Jigsaw you can customize out the wazoo. Bookmap you can't customize it, but it's a lot smoother looking. So it's sort of like an Android versus Apple kind of thing.
I want to see. Sorry.
Go.
I was just gonna say I want to see divergence here. If NQ could break a new low and ES could hold this low, I'll take ES long. But go on.
So yeah, just cut in whenever. The Bookmap you can't customize it as much, but it's very smooth, looks very nice. Versus Jigsaw, which is more techy looking, a lot more. You can customize it more, but it looks techy as well, and it's a little bit harder to work with. If you want to set it and forget it, it's nice and visual. Go with Bookmap.
Yeah, agreed. Bookmap definitely is a more simple version.
I have both, and I use Bookmap.
Wow, look at these sellers, man. Ain't no joke. They used to let the mic smoke. I like this area for a reversal, but obviously sellers don't want a reversal today. And because of that volume spike we had at 8:30. Yeah, see that? I'm telling you guys, when we get data, it's great. We get data, highs, lows, always they love to be taken out. It's wild. 15-minute, remember we were saying 15-minute and 30-minute looked bearish. What'd we get? The 5-minute looked like it wanted to reverse, just for the 30 and 15 to continue lower. VIX is pushing higher is bearish. Crude oil, give me something crude. Thank you. I think the market will go in one direction only for it to go another. How can you tell the direction price will go with confidence? Well, it depends, if we're trying to spot a reversal or if we're trying to spot continuation. Like today, I was trying to see if we could get a reversal at these zones, but instead we kept breaking through those zones. And how I would have been able to spot that, and how I was spotting that, was with the higher time frame. So because the higher time frame, and I just mean the 15 and the 30, because they were already looking so bearish, not much sign of a reversal, I knew that we're more likely than not going to be able to hold these zones. We're probably not going to reverse, because when we are hindsight, when we're looking at the charts and we're looking at the 30-minute, the hourly, and we're charting things out, it's a little obvious on the direction of the market, right? So when we're looking at the market now and we're looking at the recent hourly and 30-minute, 15-minute, those charts, those candles, we have to think, well, what if we were looking at it in hindsight? What if these candles were formed already, right? These already are. The one we're on right now is not. Well, at this point, when we were pushing higher on this 1 hour candle, it wouldn't really make a lot of sense for us to reverse after a strong push lower on this hourly. It would make more sense for us to wick a bit higher and then push back lower. So now I have my understanding that, okay, well, higher time frame is telling me this direction. Let me keep an eye on that. And it's not even higher time frame like the daily, because guess what? The daily would have had you bullish. We were bullish because of the daily. When I mean higher time frame, I mean that 30, 15, and even hourly. We have a lot of volatility today, so the 15 to 30 minute, they are giving us pretty decent moves. I mean, yeah, 200 move on NASDAQ, that's pretty nice. Now let's look at the daily time frame. Coming into this weekly imbalance.
Hey, Kevin, I have a question.
Hey, what's up?
Obviously, I got a bit chewed up there, 30 points down. So I was just wondering if the 1:30 news, sorry, that's UK time, it would be 8:30 a.m. news for you.
Yeah.
Could it take an hour for the market to absorb that news, and then, with the dollar pressing higher and the speculation about interest rates probably being bullshit, pardon my French, the market's just sold off after that. Sorry,
Right.
did you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. So like the market gave us news at 8:30, it popped, gave us a crazy move, and then what happened? We ended up reversing. We got a huge move lower. So I guess the real question is, that move higher that we create in news, we have to remember it's not a push higher in the market because buyers were so interested. It's a move in the market because it's the market's reaction to the news that comes out. So that move is all imbalance. So when we think of a fair value gap, that's an imbalance, right? Because it means the market moved without filling X amount of orders. So if the market's moving this crazy because we just got news, then guess what? All the way at the bottom, before we got news, there's a lot of unfilled orders. There's an imbalance there. There's imbalances all throughout that candle. And that's why a lot of times when we get a news spike, instead of continuing, we end up reversing, if not engulfing that full move and then reversing.
Thank you. Yeah, lesson learned. Won't do that again.
For sure, for sure. No, I know, listen, I get you. I was bullish on the day too, because guess what? Sometimes you have to remember the market could do anything. There is no definite, if we have a news pump, we're going to dump when the market opens. To say there's a definite anything in the market is a lie and nonsense. That's why we just have to be aware of all of the what ifs, right? And that's why when we create our plans, we have to say, if this, then this. If we react to this, then I'll look for this. If we have news, then I'll look for this. If we have equities very weak making new low of days, I'm not going to look for longs anymore. That's why it's also good to create rules and such. If we were looking at the weighted index today, the weighted index was dropping all day, right? Around 950 we were dropping. Meanwhile, ES, we were like, oh, let's try to go along around 10. If we looked at 10 o'clock on the weighted index, 10 o'clock on the weighted index is way down here, right? And that 5 minute looked bearish. So again, it's finding different ways to use the market to get that confirmation.
That's brilliant, Kevin.
For
And
sure.
the supply zone at 2000, the 63 mark, you know, that the high of day.
Yeah.
I had that marked out, but because of the economic data bullishness, I thought we were in a bull flag,
Yep.
and I was waiting for the second time it hit supply, which could still happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, does trading make you schizophrenic like that?
You know what? It makes you question a lot, but you have to remember, don't question everything. Have yourself a list of questions that you're already ready to ask, right? Daily bias, hourly liquidity levels, right? Highs and lows. Where are people going to be stopping out? Where are people going to be trying to catch a breakout? Understanding just those basic concepts alone will help sort of guide you in your direction, because then you could say, okay, well, if we react to that previous day high and pull back, I'm going to look for a reversal. If we reject supply, like we did yesterday, I'm going to look for a short in supply. You know, it's all these different things that us as traders have to look for. Like I always mention, trends in the market doesn't really mean bullish trend or bearish trend. It means what is the market giving us? What's trending right now? Are fair value gaps working out lately on the 15? Are 1 minute fair value gaps working out after we sweep a low? As we see buyers stepping in here, we took this key level 57.60.25. This is a key level I've had for quite some time. We took that, and now we're trying to reverse again. And we have to remember, look at the 15. That's a nice wick there on the 15. Now this right here would have given me more confidence on that 1 minute chart. So the 15-minute closed, gave us a 1 minute fair value gap down here, and gave us a nice long lower wick right here. So that would have given us confidence to take this 1 minute fair value gap. So you see how I'm breaking down the time frames? I'm saying if the 15 gives me a clue for a reversal and I have an entry on the 5 or the 1, I'm going to take that. And look how great of a trade that would have been. Instead, I'm over here with my yap logics, yapping my butt off. No, I'm just playing. See, NASDAQ, did NASDAQ give us any area? NASDAQ was also near key level 20,011. I want to see, were we in any demand zones? Did we hit any demand zones before we reversed that I missed? Hourly, 2 hour, 3 hour. Nope, nothing. I'm not seeing nothing. So we're going to wait. Yo, one love, Trade Wolf. Appreciate that. Elaborating on the iceberg term. Of course, man, of course. Yeah, so the iceberg right over here. And it's funny you ask that. This morning I recorded a video, it'll be out tonight at 6, about the iceberg indicator. So basically, this is the sweeps indicator. Don't get confused. The iceberg indicator is going to be, where is it? So this red one is an iceberg, and this green one, you know what? Let me get rid of the sweeps indicator and absorption indicator. That way we could really see what we're working with. So icebergs are basically hidden orders in the market, right? So the way that Bookmap explains it is that these are hidden orders that are being hit. So this 25, 37, you see how it's a dashed line? Those were executed, right? These were hidden offshore type of trades, big trades at that. And the reason they're called icebergs is because we're not seeing the full order. We're only seeing about, let's say, there's no real set percent, but another way to think about it is when we look at an iceberg, we're only seeing the tip, while the majority of it is underwater. So when we're looking at an iceberg order on the chart, we're seeing 62 here, but this might have really been 162, 262. So this is really strong orders coming into the market. Right here we have on Bookmap on ES, 252. That's a very strong sell order. We had a buy bubble there. We had a strong iceberg sell order. Now let's see how we want to react at this point. We have to remember too, just because they're selling doesn't mean they're going short. They could be getting out of a trade as well. But look at this reaction. Big seller right in that buyer, and it gave us a pretty solid reaction right off the bat. So we're going to wait here. We wouldn't take a trade now. We would look to short while the icebergs form. The video that I'm putting out later is really great. It shows like a live actual footage. So it's like me up top. It's a short video, so it's like 30 seconds. And it shows how like there was 60, then it was 70, and then we came into it and it went from 90 to 110. So it shows how the icebergs form and how we could use them. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Yo, good morning. Is that Ricardo?
Morning.
Yes, sir.
Ricardo, man, how you been, bro? It's been a while.
Yes, man. I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, bro. How have you been? Everything's alright?
Everything's great, man. I'm doing really well, and I'm just trying to pass my prop firm.
Alright. Good stuff, dude.
Sir.
Which, what do you want, Apex?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. What'd you get, a 50K or 25K?
I did a 50. I'm trying to pass a 50 right now.
That's cool. How are you going risk reward wise? How much are you risking per trade?
I'm just trying. At the moment right now, I'm just scalping.
Okay.
I don't.
Don't have really like a set risk?
No, I don't. I
Okay.
don't have a daily limit or anything. I'm just trying to pass the first challenge and go from there.
Gotcha. Okay. That's alright. We gotta try to... At some point, it's good to treat the challenge accounts like you would a regular account.
Yeah.
Especially because they do follow the same type of rules. Guys, I want to see if buyers step in here would be cool. If we got a retest of this zone, but if we break through it, we're gone. But as I was saying, so yeah, I would treat every account like it's a real account, you know. You never want to over leverage into one trade thinking, oh, let me try to pass in one. Let me try, oh, I took a loss, let me get back in double leverage, try to make more on this one. Just got to treat every, you know, good.
I'm looking for one, basically. That's the risk I take.
Good, man, good. I like to hear that. That's great. I like the 5 minute, because the 5 minute didn't create a an upper wick. So I wanted to see if sellers wanted to fail here, but it's not looking like they are. Oh, 964 iceberg, 1,000 lots on that iceberg, but the selling pressure is wild right now. So let's see. Trying to break. What's that?
The leaderboard is undecided, and the overall market is undecided right now.
Yeah. Inconsistencies.
Meaning they got wicks on both sides of their candle.
Yep. Nah, bro, said, what's Zeke, nah, bro, that wasn't you, that was somebody else. We was all, everybody, you just gotta remember, too, in your trading journey, and this is why it's important, too, to network as beginner traders, so you could figure out, like, you know, where are your strengths, where are your weaknesses, over leveraging, yup, that, too, it's very important, that's something that, the thing is, it's something that anybody could have trouble with, because it's available for all of us, right? There is nobody holding our hands saying, hey, make sure you don't get in this amount of size. Hey, make sure you don't get in there. It's all up to us 100% of the time.
I blew up some accounts last month over leveraging and trying to get too confident.
All right. It happens, you know? It happens, and that's why the funded accounts are so great because of how cheap they are. Not to say that, oh, they're so cheap, you could just trade it, blow it, and then get funded. Not really the case, obviously. It can be, but then how are you trading your funded accounts? You're going to trade your funded accounts the same way. You're going to blow it and then get annoyed. Go try to pass a few more, pass one, blow it, trade every account like it's the same. Don't trade Apex accounts like they're full, you're getting that full dollar value. If you're trading a 50K account, really only trading a 2K account, right? Because that trail stop is 2,500. So if you're trading a 50K account in real life, risking $500, that's no problem. That's okay. Risking $250, that's okay. But if you're trading a $2,000 account and you're risking 250 bucks, you're going to blow that account if you get a few wrong trades in a row. 8 wrong trades. Now, I'm not saying you will get 8 wrong trades in a row, but you just got to be careful with it. You got to be so careful with it.
Did you guys catch that break going down?
No. I would have told y'all.
Oh, so you haven't put a trade yet?
Earlier I did. Earlier we tried a few potential reversals on ES, but they ended up getting chopped up a little bit. And what was the other one? No, I think it was just ES. One for two today. BE, break even kind of day.
Fridays are very tricky for me.
Yeah, they can be. They can be for sure.
Same here. I'm just a little bit over break even.
How
But
often?
that's also because I'm also studying this B4 indicator as well.
Gotcha. Got to be careful with studying too much in the market too, you know, because there's always going to be something new to learn. Always. Trade Wolf said, "How often are you live during the week?" Trade Wolf, I am live on YouTube Monday and Friday, and then I'm live on Twitch Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at Futures Kevin. I should probably put that on the thumbnail thing somewhere up here.
How's the Twitch going?
It's alright. Mainly a bunch of Bullishbrs members.
Analysis paralysis, that's what we call it. You analyze too much, you stud too much, you do nothing.
Yep.
That's why I spent so much time doing that I figured out that I had to mechanize my process.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And
why
how's
it's
that going?
Spaghetti head syndrome. And you got so much going on in your head that you can't make a decision. And I go through that from time to time. And that's when I switched to paper.
We had a person that streamed here before, Kevin came on and whatnot, and she would put her charts into sometimes the same color for every bar, so that there would be no difference whether it was a red bar or a green bar. It was all the same color.
That's good to help with trading psychology, like intraday, you know? So, like, you could go more directional, so you're not worried about red or green, you just see, like, which direction we're going.
Was that Rose?
Yeah. I'd assume so.
Alright, we just did a hella short pattern H right there. Could be a reversal on NQ.
Yeah.
Especially because we're hitting some block orders
Double
at this
buy?
level. So.
Come on, gold, crude, something. Somebody, anybody, everybody, short. We got a minute for the 30 minutes to close. We'll be patient on that one, guys. Trade Wolf, do you trade futures? In Discord, you guys too, let me know. You guys take any trades today in this chop? Like I mentioned earlier, we don't really have an A+ setup. We weren't at any supply up here. We weren't at any demand down here. And just got to pay attention to those. Those are my bread and butter, my A+ setups. And the longer I trade, the more I realize, maybe instead of streaming every day, and I'm sorry to do this to you guys, but if we're not near any zones and not near any setups, I might not stream. And that might be maybe a sign for you guys that, hey, no setups. But I am going to continue streaming daily, whether it's YouTube, Discord, or Twitch, because I like to. It's always cool hanging out with you guys, and I do like teaching, so it's always fun teaching as well. So y'all let me know. We got about 15 seconds on the 30-minute here on, let's check ES and NQ. Again, we're getting another bearish 30-minute candle.
Hey, Kevin. Moonshift here again.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, I'm just out of there. I'm out. I'm out for today, sitting on my hands. I think that's more sensible. It seems to be a very choppy day. But I have a question. I was wondering if you could tell me, is, when you're doing the micros on Tradeovate, is it $2 per point? Is that right?
Yeah, on NASDAQ. So think of it like it's a tenth, right? So if the ES is $50 a point, the MES is $5 a point. If the NASDAQ is $20 a point, the MNQ is $2 a point. It's definitely a lot easier in the sense that you could scale, right? So if you're trading one NASDAQ contract, that's great. $20 a point is great if you want to shoot for maybe 50, but you can't really scale in or out. Whereas if you want to get in 10 contracts on MNQ, you could then say maybe take 3 or 4 contracts off at a first target, or you could take maybe 70% off at target B and let the last few ride till a second target, right? So it depends on the setup you get, but all in all, you can't really do that with minis unless you have a massive account.
No, that's brilliant. Thank you. Because I've vouched for you on Twitch. Your sessions this week were absolutely spot on, awesome, and
Thank you.
Stupendous, as we say. So I was just wondering, because some of your stop gaps, your stop margins are maybe 10 or 15 points. Are you factoring in like a $150? Is that how it works?
It depends, right? So, like, if I was looking at a NASDAQ short, let's say I was looking at a NASDAQ short, I don't know, right here, and this is all just hindsight trade, so this would not be a real trade I take. But if I was taking a short here, and I wanted my stop loss maybe at a recent pivot high, and I wanted to target the broken supply zone because I knew that that was an imbalance, we could then maybe look to take, this says 0.1 contract, that would mean 1 micro. So, because it's a tenth, right? So 1 micro contract would then risk $150 for me on this trade because this is a 47-point stop loss, but it's 144-point take profit. So it does the math for you in that we have to remember every day in the market we're going to get a different range. Sometimes we might target 50 points, sometimes we might target 100 points, 80 points, 120 points. And as it's funny because some people who are unaware of the market fluctuation, ADR, stuff like that, they might think, oh, that's crazy to think sometimes you hit 100 points and sometimes you hit 40. Well, when you're sizing correctly, those two trades should really equal the same profit. If you're looking for a 3-to-1 on a 100-point gain and you're looking at a 3-to-1 on a 40-point gain, you should still be risking that same risk per trade. So if it's a 3-to-1 with a 5-point stop, or if it's a let's see, I'll show you real quick what I mean by that. So if it's like a 3-to-1, so right here, this is a 3-to-1. It says 4 contracts, 0.39 contracts would be about 4 contracts to risk $150 to make $450, right? So this would be a 20-point stop and about a 60-point gain. But if I was looking for this trade before, where I have my stop loss up here and my take profit down here, still a 3-to-1. Now I'm just trading 1 contract because my stop loss is wider, but the take profit is still 3-to-1. Then I'm still making $450 on this trade, even though it's 100 more points than that previous trade. Now, if you really wanted to try to maximize your gains, that's when you look for those tight entries in a further target, right? That's how you could get more contracts with a bigger reward. And that alone, that itself, having a good risk management system, is just a piece of understanding how to trade. Just a piece of supply and demand, just a piece. Market structure, just a piece. Everything is just a piece that we have to put together. But you guys get it.
Thanks, Kevin. I see. So you're setting. Can I just ask you
Yeah.
to clarify? Are you setting the default amount of ticks per point, or sorry? Are you set? What? How are you setting your percentage per?
Like my risk value?
Yeah, you've got 0.1, but then you're just spreading a limit order across, and it's calculating it for you. I don't really understand how a micro would work against the amount of points you're setting the limit order stop value at.
What
I'm
do,
thick, so
what do you mean? Like what's the difference between micros and minis with it?
are you on a micro account right now?
Well, right now I'm on my regular account, but I'm on
You
like
can choose.
yeah.
You can choose a percentage of a full contract to trade.
No, so that's not how that's Trade08 doesn't do like percents of accounts. I think where are you from? Because I don't think that's an American thing, guys. I don't think brokers we can't like if I want to trade one MES contract, I could trade one MES contract. I can't trade like 0.5% of an MES contract or 10% of an MES contract.
That's I mean, that's the
That's Forex.
conventional trading kind of thing where you just simply say, well, if I got just making numbers, if I got a 10K account, the most I want to risk is 2%. And that's usually, so $200 kind of thing. There's not a setting that does that. You just have to calculate it. But the thing to bear in mind is you say, okay, well, if I've got 3 contracts and I only want to risk $200 total, then I've got to take $200 divided by, let's say you're doing the MNQ, so each point's $2. So $2 into 200 is going to give you 100 divided by 3 contracts, gives you 33. So in theory, on one trade, you could put your stop back 33 points for 3 contracts, and if you get stopped out, you've hit your max daily loss for the day because you will
I've got it.
only
That's cool.
risk $200 for the entire day. So we generally don't want to do that, but it also depends on, if you've got a $500 account, well, you say, well, I can't sit here and say I'm going to risk $5 to $10. That's just not practical, and realistic kind of thing. So if you've got a small account, number one, of course, make sure you're on the micros, of course, and then number two, just realize that rule came out with investing for long-term investors of how much they were willing to risk on a trade, not so much an intra-day trade.
That's so cool, Marzizi. Thank you for clarifying that, and
Yep.
for us all. The point margin would probably be 7 points or 15 points on the Nasdaq because it wicks like crazy.
Sure.
And so I'd need about $2,000 account on the micros to cover that, not to risk too much of the.
Now
of
you
the
can
account.
go, if you don't like so much wickiness, you can go to the MES, which doesn't have as much wickiness.
Yeah, I like Kevin. I like the NQ because you can get some pretty wild moves out of it. But also, I know that if you just increase the size, then you're going to be making potentially just as much, but in a safer way. And the other thing is there any way of when you open a market order, like just bang, enter the market, is there any way that you can set up some automation so that a stop will be set up instantly with it 10 or 15 points away, or do you have to have a limit order for that?
What is your trading platform?
It will be Trade08.
Okay, so Trade08, yes. If you go look, I'm happy to show it to you after Kevin's stream, but it's also, I did a Trade08 video, it's up in webinars, and it's in the latter quarter of that video about how to set up an automated OCO bracket. Obviously, you want to trade it on
awesome.
paper first
I'll
to
check
see
that.
to see that it works. But if you want, I'm more than happy to go live with you on the live stream, just on demand, and we can go through it at some point as well.
Once again, loving the training. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Teamwork, baby. I'm waiting. I wanted a crude setup. I wanted to set up off this zone to a new high a day, but
Leaderboard is starting to turn a little bit bullish. When I say leaderboard, I'm talking about Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, because they're
oh, I always wonder what you're talking about. You're saying leaderboard today.
yeah, because they're common to both. They're the top 3 in both the ES and the NQ.
Yeah.
So the leaderboard is starting to turn bullish, but the overall market has not. It is indecisive.
Nice little breakout there.
Yeah. I like to like crude long here, but I don't like that we don't have a lower wick on this candle, so I want to see if we want to push back first. Doesn't really look like it wants to push back. 15-minute. Yeah, we'll try one there. See if it come back and fill us crude right here. I'd rather wait and see if we pull back more to get a better entry. But if we don't pull back, then it's just going to run without me, and I'd rather at least have an entry. Buying pressure is coming back in on crude.
Okay, cool. So for those of you experimenting with the B4 indicator on the NASDAQ, on the 5-minute, it is getting ready to go back into the Bollinger Band area, indicating it's losing the downward momentum. And on the 30-minute, it is inside the Bollinger Band. So that's a chop. So that's telling us we're very possibly going into chop time. And of course, you know, we are going into the 11 o'clock hour soon, which is usually a slower time anyway.
Bro, crude just wicked my entry. It was like a tick away from my entry, and then it pushed back up again. Alright, yeah, this is a pretty good setup on crude right now. 2:30 left in the 5. 15 closes in 2:30 as well.
Okay, let's have a look at crude. On the 30-minute, it is descending. On the 5-minute, it is, the B4 is in the middle, so that's chop. So, now let's look at the actual, of course, Kevin's actually looking at the actual, you can use this B4 indicator all you want to. You still got to look at the chart. You still got to look at the chart.
Yeah.
All the B4 indicator is a confirmation based on what you see in the chart.
Yep. Look at these buyers. Look at this crude oil.
What I see is crude oil is chopping all over its VWAP. Up and down and up and down. It took out a fair value gap that was north of it, which would make you think it's, but it's just been nibbling and more at it.
What a crazy candle on the US dollar.
Oh, this one right here?
Around 8:30.
Yeah. That was that news, the non-farm payroll.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That did this to the dollar. It did this to gold. Crude didn't really have a reaction to it. Crude's like, I don't care. Wow, crude. Okay. Alrighty then. That's how we want to play crude. Look at that rejection to this low. See how we rejected this low with one wick and we weren't able to break it again? That's good confirmation for a reversal at a sweep low. We have to...
5-minute, it was a drop, base, rally.
Yup, drop, base, and rally. Correct. Yes, sir. Wow. It's gonna go hit our take profit before it hits our entry again. That is clean, man. Even this right here. 2-1. 3-1. That's something. I don't think we're getting the retest. I doubt we're getting a pullback. The thing was too strong. I'd love to be wrong and have us just have like a crazy red move right now. Staying patient here. Look at this order right here. They pulled it, but that could be a seller trying to bring us lower. Some icebergs on crude oil too. Guys, the iceberg indicator, I like to use that on crude oil and ES. I don't like to use it on the NASDAQ because it just disrespects the shit out of them. It has zero care in the world for icebergs on book. I'm gonna be straight. I'm a straight shooter. I'm always real with you guys. NASDAQ spread is too wide for it to care about icebergs. Icebergs sometimes can hold up as a wall and can give a really nice trade entry depending on our other analysis too. So that's why I definitely use icebergs on ES, not NQ. And crude too.
That the icebergs are simply more spread out so they don't trigger as icebergs on the NQ?
Maybe. I didn't even think of that. I meant more of the fact that, like, if we're running into an iceberg order on ES at 5760 right here, right? Let's say this was for 400 instead of for 4. Then I can maybe look for a long entry at this 5760 level or above it and put my stop loss at that recent little pivot low right there. Whereas NASDAQ, if I get an iceberg, well, a lot of times it'll just, like, run through it like it's not even there. Like, it does not care about them. Like, a sell iceberg hit here, just pushed higher. A buyer hit here, just pushed lower. It's not as consistent, not as strong of an indicator, in my opinion, you know? So you could maybe mess around with it and get different results, but that's where I'm at with it.
Icebergs? We don't need no stinking icebergs.
Icebergs dead ahead. Wow. Yeah, I want to see a pullback now, though. Because now, look, we're creating lower highs on crude.
All right, we got a little bit of a trend line there on
What time is it?
sloping up from the 905 candle to the 1020 candle Eastern. So right now that trend line's up around 74.6. And if you have your time and sales up, if it gets up there, you watch that time and sales explode as they try to figure out what they're going to do about it. That's an interesting thing. If you like watching time and sales, watch what happens when it hits a trend line, and you'll see those algos know exactly those trend lines are there.
Like a gold chopping in a chop range and that fair value and that imbalance it created with the news. So gold, no trades on gold. No A plus today. And guys, it's like we gotta understand when we have our A plus setups, that's when we should really be profiting and trading. Trading, we have to remember there is no set what's it called? I wrote it down. Set income. There's no set income in trading. You can't expect to make X amount of dollars every single day in the market. You could try. You could look for your setups. You could create trade plans and definitely make that a goal. But you have to realize that some days are just not meant to be traded.
Mark Douglas, who does the, he's the big trading psychologist guy. He's back from the 70s. He's probably dead by now, but I forget what his book is called. But at any rate,
Trading. Oh my God, I know it. I have it.
I have it too, but
Was that the trading in the zone guy?
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup. That's it.
Mark Douglas, phenomenal. He's kind of, you can go to YouTube and do Mark Douglas trading, and he's got like a 5-part series that's just absolutely, he's a psychologist who's also a trader. But he says, you know, when you get a strategy, you try that strategy 10 days or 20 trades in a row, 20 trades in a row to see if the strategy works or not. Well, by the same token, you know, you're going to have some hits and you're going to have some misses and stuff like that. Well, the same thing applies to well, Wednesday I was green, Thursday I was red, kind of thing. You're going to have days like that as well. I've had a red day this week, and you're going to have days just like that. You're looking for the trend, if you will. Does your trend show that you're consistently, upsized trend? Are you more profitable overall than you are negative? Kevin's absolutely 100% right there. Unless you're Jeremy. Jeremy's like a cycle worker or something.
I'm getting ready to take some crude. Nice. I'm getting ready to take some crude longs down here. I want to see a push into this zone. United. We're holding the 5-minute fair value gap. I want to see a dip into it, get some longs, and get on out. Look at the struggle we have on the 5-minute. But remember, guys, we're always lately, a trend in the market has been a dump in the morning and a reversal when everybody's done trading. Because guess what? The market doesn't want us to make money. Newsflash.
There's truth in that.
No way the market wants us to consistently be making money. And that's why on our good days we have to profit better, we have to do better. And even on our good days when we notice we're having good streaks, to even size up a little bit, that's okay. I know there's a whole lot around sizing up and not sizing up in trading, and I do believe in sizing up when you're in a winning streak, but I don't believe in sizing up to the point that you're blowing your account off of one trade. And the reason I do believe in sizing up is because we're already working with good 3-to-1, 4-to-1 risks to reward. So because we're already working with that, let's say we have originally a $200 risk, and we're doing a 3-to-1, $200 risk, $600 reward. I always do this to myself. $100. Let's do $100 original risk, 3-to-1. So we're looking for a $300 reward. Okay, so we get 3 right trades. We're up $900. Now I could risk $200 on the next trade, right? Because now if I risk $200 on the next one, if I lose, I'm only down $200. That's like 2 trades worth. But if I win, I'm up again, also double that trade's worth. And it's not breaking the account because we're already looking for 3-to-1. If I was already only looking for 1-to-1 risks to reward, it's going to be a little more difficult to size up. Hi, oil. Yeah, it's Kevin. Could you drop like 5 cents so I could get filled, please? Thank you. Gotta get crude oil on speed dial, man. Like, sweep these lows right here, please. Thanks. Gotta be careful on this 5 closes soon. I want to see this push lower now on crude, so this candle goes red like that and makes its way to my zone. I'm moving my entry so it doesn't trigger right away. Because I don't want to jump right in if it dumps crazy. I will trigger in there 1 contract in case we do get a quick rejection. Stop loss at the bottom of the fair value gap. Very light trade. Good risks to reward on it though if we win. And again, that's great too. You could size down when you see you're not in winning trades and you'll still make good profit from it. So I'm in crude long, one contract at 74.23, stop loss at 74.14. There we go, crude. Yeah, what's the move? Let's go make a new high. Let's go, dude. Do. Nice. I like that, but I don't like the sellers that are keep trying to step in. If I was in multiple contracts, I'd probably scalp the first one there. But I'm not, so this is either going to go to our take profit or it's going to go to our stop loss, and that's how we're taking this one. I'm looking at the moves higher. Whenever we have a strong move higher, look how quick and look how strong they are. But the moves lower also gave us the same thing. Quick, strong moves lower. $74.15 over here is pretty heavy on crude, and that's where my stop loss is, so I am worried a little bit for a stop hunt. But I'm also thinking that might be where the buyers that are already in the market might be defending themselves too.
Well, the 1030 candle took out the low of the 930 candle, or the 935 candle, so that was a liquidity grab. One tick, but that's all you need for a liquidity grab too, as well. So
Yeah. Yeah, I knew it lost that momentum right over here, and I said that too. There are definitely no trade days. I usually look at the daily or 4-hour candles, and if you see the body of the candle sitting in the middle, I believe it is a doji. Become very cautious. Awesome, dude. That's great. That's great, Trade Wolf. That is huge. Doing it right, man. And staying patient here on crude. If we push back up, I will add to this long trade. Same stop loss. So we'll add there. Same stop loss. 74.14.
still chopping on VWAP.
Yep, usually liquidity grab or day chop or choppy day. Yep, that's right. And those choppy days, gotta remember, for good days in the market to come, we have to have choppy days. Those choppy days grab the liquidity all day. Everybody's trying to short every drop, pop, go long every pop. There we go. That was a nice crude ad.
Fellas, how y'all doing?
Yo, good morning. Who we got in here now?
My name's LaDon.
What's going on, Ladon? What's that? Air attackers? What's going on, boss? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I put on an iron condor, like a 0 DTE. It looks like it's looking good so far. I just need to stay between 565 and 573. It should be good. I hope.
All right, cool, man, cool. 30-minute close.
That's what I did.
Oh, on SPY? Nice. Very nice. I like the 30 and the 15-minute here on crude to push higher. They close in about a minute.
Somebody gave them port workers a phone call. And told them to bring their butts back to work up.
Dude, seriously. That was quick, man. Last time it took a while for anybody to do anything. This time they were on quick. They were like, we ain't running out of toilet paper again.
I think somebody that's pulling the strings told them, y'all going back to work.
Well, they got the raise. They wanted a 70% raise. They got a 65. Trade Wolf asks, how can they talk? They're in the Discord community right now. So if you're in our community, you could definitely chat away of push to talk on for any members. That way they could ask questions as they want. But yeah, Trade Wolf, come join our community, Bullishbrs.com. Check us out. Would love to have you as part of our fam. 30-minute closes right now. Fam. Our fam.
Fam merch.
Fam merch.
Your specialty is trading futures, huh?
Yes, sir. There we go, Crude. There we go, Crude. Get some pressure behind you now. It's struggling on Crude. I'll probably look. I'm going to hold these, though. I did like the 30 minutes to continue back higher for a basing and then a rally candle right there. 15 also looked sort of okay to the upside. So stop loss is right down here on Crude. I am a little worried for a stop hunt because I see that there are other stop orders down there. So we'll just have to wait and hold and trust the trade.
I see you use Bookmap. Yeah, I got Bookmap, but I got it on TOS. So
Oh,
it's
that's
like,
cool.
It's like a dummy down version. But
Yeah,
I mean, I like the way it looked, but my understanding is for day traders. I'm not a day trader, more, swing trader.
yeah, but a Bookmap is great for day traders. It's great because it shows like we had a conversation about it earlier with Marziti. It shows the depth of market, right, Marziti? So it shows the level 2, it shows the time in sales, and it really shows us the volume that we would sort of have to dissect from the chart or from a whole bunch of numbers on our screen to just bubbles, and it sort of makes it a bit easier on the eyes and easier to figure out that buying and selling strength. That's why I always recommend it. You need some type of volume analysis in your trading, whether it's finding imbalances or seeing volume on the chart like this. There we go, Crude. Woo!
The one thing I saw that I liked about Bookmap, mind you, is for day traders, but them big red zones that could be either top or bottom. When I saw that, I said, "Oh, I know what that is. That red zone, that red zone is the ceiling.
I know what that is right there. I feel like getting out of a Crude contract right here in case it fails, but that was a nice pump, man. That was a nice pump.
I caught it on the NQ.
Nice. Gotta be careful, guys. If I'm trading Crude, don't think you could trade another one in Divergent because they don't really run together. It just so happens that, yes, NQ is pushing higher while ES is pushing higher as well. Losing faith in this Crude as it's losing strength up here, but we still got 2:05 left in the 5 minute. Want to let that 5 close. If this 5 closes strong, we're in for a nice run. I'll do a dance, guys. We'll do some dances. There we go, Crude.
I love to dance.
There we go, Crude. A little bit of selling trying to step in here. I think that's people stopping out. Give me that pump, baby. Give me that pump. Let's stop people out who are short from here with the stop. Bam! Let's go, Crude. Next target would be up here.
45. There we go. We took liquidity.
That's what's up. That's what's up, Crude. That's what's up, baby.
All right, first target high is going to be 74.57. That will be the high of the 10-20 candle.
Boom! Bro, I told you, I like that 30 minute. Looked good. Keep going, Crude. Give me another break. Love it. I want that break above this level right here on this 5 minute.
Give me a pop.
Give me a pop.
Get me out of this Crude stuff. Long chop.
I might get out of one right here in case we fail that high, but I feel like I shouldn't. I did that with gold the other day, and it was not the right move. We ended up soaring right through that high. We have a buyer right here, so we do have some support. Yeah, I do like Crude higher. 20 seconds left in the 5 minute. We're going to let it close. Let's see. I'm going to get out of one contract. Let's see.
Question: can Bookmap be used for swing trading?
Not really. Unless you're like waiting for a certain level to be hit. But alright, I'm out of one crude contract right there, guys, to play it safe. I'm out of one right here to lock in. That was a 3-1 on that first target. I want to see strength, I want to see continuation. Like let's say we're waiting for a level to be hit on a swing trade and you want to see if buyers step in. You could use Bookmap then to see if buyers are stepping in at your area. But other than that, not too much.
Alright, I took profit at the target.
No way.
I've got a runner at break even.
No way. I don't like that we swept this high and we're trying to fail here on crude. That's why I got out of one contract, but I am holding one left, and I will probably move my stop loss to this recent low right here. See that selling pressure trying to come in on crude. I'd rather wait because the 5 looks bullish and the 30 looks bullish. So I'll be patient. We have 340 left in the 5 minute. It's 11:06 right now. $11.06. The market, I've noticed on crude lately, we've been getting our trends after 11 o'clock. So I'm holding this.
Alright, I'm out at break even. Got 2 at profit, 1 at break even.
Nice.
Oh, it is 11:06.
Right? Time flies when you're making money, baby. I like that 5 on crude. I like that 30 on crude. And I like it like that. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Alright. What'd I just do? Hit the wrong button, is what I did. Still in these crude longs. I'm out of one contract at this level. I'm still holding the last contract. I want 75 on crude. 75 on crude. $75 is close to a new high of day. 75 is up here. Look, these sellers failed over here. Gives me good confidence that this 5 might want to try to continue. 15 and 30 minute. Remember that 30 looked very bullish because of this basing candle beforehand. Hey, appreciate you, Trade Wolf. Appreciate you. It's all teamwork. All about figuring out finding those setups, right? So this, why was this an A+ setup? Oh, boom, boom. Thank you, Crude. Why was this an A+ setup in comparison to the crappier setups we've been seeing today? Well, because Crude on the daily was bullish, and we were starting to make some higher lows on the 5. We swept this low right here, and that's how we created this imbalance on the 5 minute and 1 minute, and that's where I had my entry in the 1 minute fair value gap. Now, we have a key level here on crude. I don't have it on my other chart, so I am going to hold. I think if I had it on my other chart, I probably would have got out here on that first contract. But we're holding right now on crude.
We hit that trend line, rejected.
Yes, sir.
Coming back up to it.
Crude, crude, crude of the jungle. Watch out for that barrel. Bonk. Having some trouble with this key level here. It is in a supply zone. That supply zone did break today. I want to watch how we react to this level. Stops are above break even. No loose trade. And that's what's up. That's what's up. That's how we trade. That's that Bullishbrs futures Kevin way, baby. Very good stuff. 27 seconds left in this 5 minute. At this key level, at this supply zone. Letting this 5 minute close. If it closes above this level right here, we're holding.
That top wick is right on the trend line.
Boom, 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 boom.
Alright, there we go. We've crossed the trend line. Next target up, 75.03.
Oh, cha-cha.
Pivot point and ADR level, right on top of each other. Very
Beautiful.
strong combination. Both of them being there adds a little bit more attraction to the magnetic effect.
Yep, yep. I want to see one more snap. I want to see that 75 level. We're starting to hesitate here. We got that hezzy.
All right, I'm out. I got a meeting here coming up, so glad to hear that we've done okay. I hope everybody's done okay today, at least break even. I'm green, happy with that.
Very good.
If I don't talk to anybody, any of y'all this weekend, have a good weekend. We'll see you Monday morning. Thank you, Kevin, for
Have a
your
good
time
weekend.
today. Appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Absolutely.
So, yep. Later, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Later, Marzetti. Have a good weekend, man. Talk soon. Guys, I'm considering getting out of gold here into this strength in case it pulls back. No, it's not our target. Ooh. We'll see. I don't know, man. That was good buying pressure. 74.94, pretty strong. We'll see. Hodl. Hodl indeed. And you know what it was? It was the 30-minute that made me bullish. And if that's the case, this 30-minute wants to continue, guess what? We're going all the way up.
We're all the way up.
Love it. Love it, Victoria. All the way up.
We are pretty much all the way up right now in markets as well.
We are. That's right. 18 minutes left on the 30. A little concerned on that because we could like pull back and chop around for a little bit before getting that target. Again, I could take profit here and have a fantastic day. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to give this 5 another few seconds. No, we're going to get out right there. All out right there of crude, guys. Fantastic, fantastic trade. Patience is key, guys. Patience, patience, patience. We tried those 2 chops this morning on ES. Acknowledged the price action wasn't in our favor. And then we just waited. We watched crude. We watched gold. We were patient. We missed this setup, this entry on gold right here, crude right here, which again would have targeted a new high. But this was still a great trade right here. This was a 5-to-1 risk to reward off this 1 minute fair value gap. We got out of the first contract around 3-to-1, last one around 5-to-1. Really great overall trade, and that's sort of what I was talking about, having a good risk to reward, so that my 2 little crappy trades, the one was like break even, one was like a small loss, those barely affect my winner, right? Or in the opposite idea, my winner destroys, obliterates them, goes right through them like it's nothing, and that gives us a better mindset when we're trading, right? And we have to remember that, because guess what? Tomorrow is going to be a new day. You're going to wake up. You're not going to remember this exact moment of where, oh wow, yeah, patience paid off. But you do have to remember it. Write something down. Whatever you got to do, screenshot the chart and be like, yo, remember, yesterday you tried some trades before 10 closed. Now, you caught some really good ones after 11. Let's maybe look for something similar. It is Friday, though, so we don't have any markets opening tomorrow. This was a great trade to end off the week. Really great comeback. Hope you all were able to profit as well. Have a great day. Happy trading, and take care.
Thank you, Kevin. Take care, man.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I hope you guys all have a great weekend.
You two guys, take care.